Hello, Calencia，
Hey
非
Kelly, how
常
are you?
非常感谢 Calencia 今天来我们的 Zap News 的 channel 来讲他的项目 Masa。So Calencia, maybe tell me about your background and your company background and share more information about Masa, please.
I'm a co-founder at Masa. My background is that I have been building, investing, and growing fintech company in the past decade. I was a founding team member of PayPal, the payment giant's venture capital arm. And then later on, I scaled a startup from 10 people all the way to 450 people and an acquisition. That's when I decided to embark on my entrepreneurial journey in Web3, which has been super fun so far. It's only been a year, but it has been a very, very wild year of roller coaster ride. I think at the core of all the fintech and financial infrastructure I have built and invested in the past 10 years, identity is always a core part of it. Personally, I have a vision of building a more equitable, open, and decentralized world. And blockchain as technology platform is perfect medium for building a future of decentralized world. And my view is that on-chain is a new online, just like how our generation as younger millennials are super used to Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I think the next generation, the Gen Alphas or later generation, will see on-chain as their natural habitat. If we envision that world of everyone being so natively on chain, we have a lot to build when it comes to infrastructure. Identity and data are the core infrastructure when we think about who we are, how we associate with each other, and our behavior on chain. So last year, in May, around a year ago, Vitalik, Ethereum's creator, published a paper called Soulbound Token Finding Web3 Soul. In the paper, Vitalik detailed a new technology called Soulbound Token, and Masa, my project, became the first Token protocol that launched in August last year. In the past 8 months, we have truly scaled and brought Soulbound tokens to the market with functional use cases. Now, looking back, we have around 300,000 users with at least 900,000 SBTs or Soulbound tokens being minted into their wallet. That's a fine testament of the scalability and composability of the technology. That's the high level overview in terms of where I see the future going, being on chain is the new online, and the crucial part of that world being identity and how Soulbound token ties into that picture and vision.
And I actually signed up your ambassador program last night here as well. Were you investing a lot of identity space and then things related to identity when you work at PayPal Venture? And then when you left there and then you thought about, okay, how can we really grow this space through the new technology? And is that how you joined this or started this company?
I first started in traditional finance, working in investment banking with traditional banks, broker dealers, and payments companies like Visa and MasterCard. That's 10 years ago. It definitely showing my age now. But I saw a lot of deficiency when it comes to the overall global financial system. At the core of it, there's a very deficient technological infrastructure. That's the reason why 10 years ago, I made the leap of faith and joined the fintech space. In fintech, in the past 8 years or so, I saw a trajectory of open finance, which means that more people want to share their identity, share their data, build a more scalable and composable financial infrastructure at a more global scale. So at PayPal Ventures, I invested in companies such as Plaid, Tink, which are the building blocks of financial data sharing globally. We invested in consumer fintech like Tala, Acorn, Stosh, all of them centered around the idea of having users' identity information first and utilizing users' identity information to help them navigate their financial lives. So whenever I see any fintech innovation, I see identity, I see open finance, I see data at the core of it. But even fintech, despite being fintech still has its limitations. Fintech is working within the confines of boundaries, regulations, and existing payment rails and existing financial infrastructure. That's the reason why I wanted to take one step forward by building a Web3 based company that is focused on identity and data, because I see Web3 truly provides an opportunity to build something that is decentralized, open, and hopefully more equitable. building a world and building a community for anyone to be able to participate in. Kelly, you mentioned our ambassador program. So just want to share a few examples here. In the Masa community, in the past year, we have grown from a couple thousand community members to now more than 100,000 community members across Discord, Telegram, and on Twitter. I would say most of them are global. Top 10 countries where our community members come from include the likes of Vietnam, Indonesia, Ukraine, Russia, Nigeria, Japan, etc. Actually, fewer people come from the United States, Western Europe, those destinations where if I were to build a Web2 fintech startup by creating this Web3 community and Web3 community using blockchain, a natively global technological infrastructure as a starting point, we are able to, for the first time, serve a truly global community. Now, I think that's really groundbreaking in terms of what Web3 can create and can bring to a global user base.
I think recently there was a lot of controversial issue talk about the DAO voting and then DAO governance are related to using their token. And then, especially a month ago, there was a really huge case in the layer one company and they didn't really utilize their DAO governance really good way. What is your thought on this and how does SBT can help to solve this issue?
Yeah, 100%. So in my opinion, the future of DAO voting or the future of governance on chain should be based on your reputation. Again, going back to the power of SBT, SBT can be used as the badge or identifier that signifies on chain at the wallet level what your contribution is. To give you a recent example, which is not SVP power, but something that is very similar to this concept of on-chain reputation. If you look at the most recent arbitrage airdrop, which is huge, right? Like the entire Web3 community was super excited. In order to qualify, you need to have already made XYZ contribution as a developer, community member, etc. In the future, all of those contributions and achievements should be represented in Soulbound token, directly visible on-chain and in your wallet. And that is the future of on-chain reputation. For a real Web3 economy and a real on-chain world to truly flourish, we need to be able to build our contribution and reputation online. And that's really the core of what Soulbound token is trying to solve for, be able to record your on-chain reputation.
Maybe you can share more about, some of the past or current partnership that you have done that make you really excited about and then share more details about what is the partnership. But I see you guys Twitter had a bunch of exciting partnerships just recently launched with like Coinbase, with Cello.
I'll probably group them into two buckets. The first one is strategic partnership with L1 and L2 blockchains, layer 1 and layer 2 blockchains. So a few you mentioned, Cello and Base, they're both L1 and L2 partnerships. So for those partnerships, normally what we do is that we bring the Soulbound token toolkit, the entire package I just mentioned, loyalty, underwriting, authentication, all of them should be available to all the developers who are building on those L1 and L2 blockchains. And for users, we create interface on the native blockchain I mentioned, and you as a user will be able to go through a very easy to navigate Web2-like user interface, get a domain name or mint multiple domain names, and claim your identity Soulbound token as your Web3 passport on that L1 or L2 blockchain. We launched our partnership with Cello as the first L1 partnership in 10th of March, actually exactly a year ago at the time of this recording. And it has seen tremendous growth in the past month. Since we launched a month ago, we've had more than 300,000 Cello domain names being minted from 45,000 users globally from different continents. And now they have experience minting a Cello domain name, getting an identity passport SBT on Cello, but also have some Cello in their wallet. Many of them are new to Cello user. So this kind of SBT product and loyalty product we have built have attracted a significant amount of users to our partners. I was looking at the April active wallet data on Celo blockchain. We, Masa, represent 23% of the total active wallets on Celo for the month of April alone. That, I would say, is a pretty big percentage. And we're looking forward to integrate with more dApps, wallets, protocols within the Celo ecosystem. One thing I would love to share is tomorrow we are actually announcing very, very exciting participation in Binance's accelerator. It's called Most Valuable Builders. I'm sure more than 1,000 projects applied and only 15 to 20 projects got selected to be part of this very exclusive accelerator built by Binance Labs as well as BNB Chain team. So through this accelerator program, we'll have exposure to many of the largest developers, projects, and dApps within the BNB Chain ecosystem, a way to fast track our integration with them. And hopefully by the end of the accelerator, we'll have an opportunity to work with Binance on the exchange side for our Fusion token listing, as well as Binance Labs for an investment in Masa as well.